What's going on, people? So I'm about to ride right now, take a small ride. It's October 22nd, and pretty soon I won't be able to ride anymore, although it's a very surprising, beautiful day. 65 degrees, won't be like this forever. So I'm about to take my board out and clean up for the season. So I don't do that often, and I'm gonna go through that process and let you know what I do. It's not much. So let me go for a ride first, and then I'll tell what I do to my board to keep it away, to storage away, all right? What a ride I had today, man. Beautiful day. I'm so stoked. Beautiful day. I can't describe. And I'm super stoked because I just downloaded the rides right now. And guess what? Yes, indeed. It's still a top rider at 3,551 miles, I believe. But I know not it's gonna last for a long time because I got some people chasing my tail, and this might be the last time that I'm on the leaderboard of all time most miles riding. For those who don't know, I mean, you Flyboard people know, and for those who don't know, who think about buying this board, just let you guys know again, it comes with this cool little app that you see what's going on in the whole world in terms of how many miles you did, how many waves you rode, which is not my forte. So check it out, guys. You guys who don't have the Flyboard, it's a pretty cool app that it keeps you challenged riding all the time. What's up, guys? So I'm not gonna get in detail about washing the board. I'm not gonna be showing you washing the board. However, I rarely wash my board because most of the time that I ride in fresh water, so there's no need to wash. Now I've been riding lately in the ocean a lot, so once I'm done for the week, then I wash off the board just to get the salt water out. However, I'm not constantly washing the board or anything like that. And also, I keep my board assembled at all times. I disassemble it only maybe twice a year or maybe 3 times a year at the most. So the mast is constantly on the board at all times. The only thing that switch, of course, once in a while are the wings and the propeller. And every time they switch the wings, I do clean the screws a little bit, and I put the screw grease again. Other than that, I leave the board together at all times. Now, one thing that suggests also, I never leave my board out of its cover. So whenever I'm riding, I put it right back inside the cover and also protect the wings. Because carbon fiber, if you're exposed to the sun, UV lights, you can actually damage the carbon fiber. So one thing that I do all the time is to keep my board inside the cover. But honestly, guys, it's maintenance free. Honestly, it's a product that's maintenance free. And listen, I don't work for Flyboard. I'm just very happy with what I have. And I know there are boards out there, lift for instance, you gotta be constantly cleaning that pipe, the water cooling pipe, because if that thing gets jammed or debris gets inside, you will damage the electronic of the board. And that's the beauty about Flyboard. You don't have to worry about that. One thing that I highly recommend for you as well is to bring your board for its annual service. I think it's every year. I did that to my board. I think it costs you $250 or $300. I don't know. but it's definitely worth it, because if you don't do that, I think you avoid the warranty, which is 3 years. Now, as I say, it's maintenance free. The only thing that I do, which I'm gonna show right now, I'm not gonna show me washing the board or anything like that. The only thing that I do once in a while is do clean, take off the mast, and wash off the screws and so forth, and the connectors as well. As I said, I leave my board together, assemble it at all time, except for 3 times a year that I take it apart. And except, of course, for the wings, that I change the wings once I'm riding. But I'm gonna go through the stuff that I use to clean up the screw and clean up the connectors, and what I once in a while clean my mast and the the mast and the fuselage with, so I can clean the aluminum, because the aluminum gets some not corrosion, but gets some oxidation on it. All right, so I'm gonna get through that right now. Here's some of the things that I use to clean the board, guys. So this throttle body air intake cleaner, I use this to clean the terminals. I'm gonna show you pretty soon. You're familiar with this. I'm gonna show you how I use it. This is amazing, especially for you to clean your mast, your aluminum mast. And of course, you know, the typical thing that you need. And I'm gonna go through that process right now. Now, let me show you something to you guys to see how many damage I've done to this. I beat the crap out of this board, guys. I'm not kidding. Look, there's scratches over here, scratches here, scratch all over the place. And look at this wing. I damaged this thing so many times. I fix it. I'm gonna make another video fixing this. But let me say this to you. I bang rocks, everything you can possibly imagine. Rocks, solid masts, anything. Everything I'm hitting. But my concern was not about this, because I know this is gonna break, but my concern always being if I damage or crack the mast. And thank God, guys, that never happened. And my concern was also the impact if it would break this or the connectors here. It never did. Yes, my board is all banged up. My whole thing is messed up, but this is super resilient. And I'm very glad that's made out of aluminum, because I hear mast over there made in carbon fiber getting all messed up and broken and so forth, exploding. But here we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna show you later how to fix this. This will be my next video. And a small fix on the tip of the wings, which I have several over here. And gonna make a video later of how to fix small damage, and how to fix big, huge damage, because what I'm doing over here is not working lately. So I'm gonna definitely have to fix with carbon fiber, and I'm gonna show that in the next video. However, I wanna show this too. You see how corrosive this kind of is? You see the blemishes? So that happens to aluminum. Now, you don't want to get anything that's too abrasive to the mast, because you're going to scratch it. And that's why this thing keeps, is great to have. I'm going to put a link for all this stuff over there that I told you. But this thing is very, very not aggressive. And I'm going to polish it off right now. You see how the mast is? Tons of little oxidations and whatnot. I'm going to clean it with this. I'm going to show you the before and after. And look at this, how yellowish and tarnished that is. Now, I don't know if this would work on your black mast, because I never had a black mast. I have both my boards of the aluminum. I would say, I'm gonna leave the link below. This, I think, is Mr. Clean, whatever, Bush, whatever. I'm gonna leave a link below for this and those things over there. I would give it a try, because you can clean your board also with this, because it's very low abrasive, and it's not gonna damage your board at all. But look at the difference from now until I start recording again. Now, I don't know if you see the difference, how shiny and smooth it is. There's still some tarnishing over there, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. But see how much reflection is giving to my hands right now? And look how clean it is right now. So that pad that I told you about, Mr. Clean and whatnot, it kind of softly, slightly abrasive, which cleans that very much without damaging your mast. However, it makes super clean and super shiny. And the longer you stay without doing this, the worse it's gonna be, so you can see how shiny it is. Now, once again, I don't know how that will work on the black mast, and you can see how the reflection is. So this, so you can make sure that it's not gonna rust, but however, these things might stay on with time. So that's why I used to clean the mast and the board as well. Just lightly soap water, and that's it. Now, let me get into the taking this off and what I do to clean that up. Time for the truth. As you can see, it's nice and clean on the hose. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, my concern is to see if there's any humidity inside, because I only take this, as I said, once every twice or 3 times a year. And let me see how, if it's too wet on inside. And it's a little bit humid over here. And this, guys, it's about 4 months, you know, 3-4 months I haven't taken this out. A little bit moist in there, but oh, there's a little bug there. What the hell is that? A little bug in there. So anyhow, so there is a little bit moist right now because I just took it out. But look at the seal, it's perfect clean. Now, you do not want to put any type of oil in here. Over here, you just got to clean it with soap and water, and that's it, okay? And I'm going to show how to clean this up as well. So once I take the bolts from the fuselage, and also for the mast, I'm sorry, and also I do the same thing with the wing bolts. I just spray a little bit of WD-40 and let it sink, kind of stay there for a little bit. And now here's the deal. I already cleaned the electronic box, and I make sure that I clean this bottom part over here, which is also that bottom part over there. Make sure you clean that just with soap and water, nothing else. And make sure you don't let any type of grease fall into this. And I look at the seal, the gasket is perfectly fine. And same thing I'm gonna do to here. I'm just gonna spray a little bit right in there for now. That's it. And I let it soak, and I make sure they're gonna clean around it, not let it sink in the rubber. Here's where I also use a little bit of WD-40, which is in the ring, on a deck wrench. Just make sure, guys, that once you do this, you're gonna wipe it off the excess. And make sure that you don't let any oil drip on the top of the rubber seal. You don't want to damage that. And finally over here as well, just a little bit. Oops, right there. And a little bit right here. And that should be the only place that you want to use the WD-40. And of course, clear up the excess. So for the connectors, not only for these connectors, but also the connectors on the battery and on the charger, I just use this. I say again, throttle body at intaker. It dries instantly, so you just spray a little bit on the inside right there, and a little bit on the inside. And also same thing for the make sure it's unplugged, the connectors for the charger. Spray on inside. And finally, the body terminals as well. That's it. Now, after letting it sit for a little bit, I just use a Q-tip for just a minute so to clean everything, to take the excess out. That's good over here. And clean up the excess. And same thing for the all connectors, not only for the, there you go, look at that, how much junk you're getting out of there. So the mast connectors, the battery connectors, and the recharger connectors. And this, guys, I only do once every 2 months or every 3 months. And look how much gunk you're getting out of there. And it does clean all the terminals with that. Now the controller, also very low maintenance. I usually just wash it with soap and water. You want to spray some water inside over here, you know, just let the water run inside so the trigger never gets stuck. And once in a while too, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know if I should be doing this or not, but just give a little tiny spray right there, and that's it, nothing more. Press it and dry it out. And look at that. So that's the maintenance that I do. And now what I do, I put everything back. And before I get to that, let's go back to this. Remember the bolts? After, you know, let it sink a little bit with the WD-40. The only thing I do is just clean up a little bit to get the gunk out, take the Tef gel out. And after you do this with every single bolt, not only for the mast, for the mast, but also for the wing bolts, I do the same. Very important, before I start assembling everything, make sure everything's nice and dry here. There's no grease or oil, and especially this. Make sure this is super dry. There's no grease or anything over here, neither here or over here on your electronics box, because this thing is gonna be aligned with that. And you wanna make this thing is gonna be aligned with this, and make sure there's no water debris between both of them before you put it together. Now everything almost like brand new. If you see, like everything's shiny. Now the mistake that people do, they put way too much TEF gel. You don't gel. You don't need to put that much. It's just basically a little bit. And what I do is actually I put a little bit and then just roll around it, and that's all you need really. That's it. You don't have to make too much of it. A little bit in the tip, and that's it. That's all much you need, and you put it right in, and that's it. Do to all of them. As you might know, you should tie this up just like you tying up the wheel of a car in an X pattern, from one side to another and up and down in a cross shape. Now, when you come to tie it up, you don't have to tie it up all the way. So if you get to, going back to this one right now. So for instance, that's how much you want to do. You go all to the top over here, and once you stop, you just go 1, 2, 3, that's it. You don't want to go more than that and go through all of them all around, and there you go, nice and firm, and that's it. You solid now, and you're ready to go. The same procedure that I went through with the bolts for the mast will be the same procedure that you're gonna go with the bolts for the wings. Make sure you do exactly the same thing, same procedures and so forth. But the best thing you can do for your board and for your wings to preserve it is to keep the board always inside its cover, and always keep the covers of the wing on the wings. And I already mentioned about this. If you don't know what this is, if you have the true glide propeller, and if you use your car, if you put the board on the top of your car, and if you have the free glide propeller, you gotta, and you're putting your board on the top of your car, you gotta get used to the habit of doing this to prevent your propeller from damage. Because if this spins freely in the air at high speeds, you will damage your propeller in the future. So once you do this over here, there's a video that I show how to do this. It's just a Velcro, so it prevents the propeller from spinning. And that's it. And that's the only precaution you gotta have. As long as you keep your board inside of the bag, the cover, and keep the wings covered, you'll be fine. All right, guys, that's all I have for you guys today. I'm gonna make next video is gonna be about fixing the wing and the stab as well, if you have any damage on your carbon fiber wing. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, please let me know. Leave the thumbs up down, and I hope to see you in the water. Be good to each other, guys. See ya.